The universe is constantly trying to talk to us. It's constantly providing messages, signs, and trying to guide us the right way in life. But it can be really, really difficult to understand what the heck it's trying to say. So in this video, I'm going to help you start to spot the fact that the universe is trying to talk to you and help you figure out what the universe is trying to tell you right now. You ready? Let's go. Hi YouTubers, happy Wednesday. I'm Emma Jane, your life coach on the couch, coming to you from Reroute Your Life. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about, or I'm going to be showing you how the universe is trying to communicate with you. And this can be really, really hard to spot because the universe doesn't communicate the same way we do. It doesn't give these clear messages, which is, you should do this now. This is the right opportunity to follow. It doesn't do that. Basically, the universe communicates to us through experiences, through subtle signs. Now, what we're going to be looking at today is the 3 different types of messages the universe is sending to you. Well, that's the way that I categorize it. And that's the easy messages, the harder messages, and the points where the universe is screaming at you, trying to get your attention. And I'm also going to be giving you a tool that is going to help you, guide you along the way to talk into the universe so that you can figure out what it's trying to tell you right now. So some signs the universe is sending to you are really easy to spot. And this is usually when you've got a clear idea of what it is you want in your life. You've got a gut feeling, or you've got a very clear direction in your mind that you know what you want. And this is where the law of attraction kicks in, because if you know what you want, you start to look for opportunities, you start to look for things in your life, or you're more aware of things popping up, maybe an advert or a college course or whatever it is that you want. So this is where the universe really provides quite clear messages or signs to how to go on that path and follow that idea or gut feeling. It could also maybe provide you with opportunities to say, well, actually, that's not the right way for you to go. Why not try this? So to give you an example from my own life, when I had one of these really easy to spot opportunities, I'd been living in Denmark for a little while and I was starting to get lonely. I was missing my spiritual community back at home. And I realized that in order to feel complete and happy in my life, I needed to be around people that were working with their spirituality. Now, a couple of days after I had this realization, I bumped into a stranger at a friend's house and we were talking about this. And she mentioned to me there'd be this new spiritual fitness center opening up in Copenhagen where I was living at the time. And this might be the answer to my feelings of loneliness. So I went down, I investigated it, I signed up, I became part of the community at the Spiritual Fitness Center. And actually, that tiny meeting with that stranger changed my entire life, because from going to the Spiritual Fitness Center, from investigating these things, I became really clear and aware about what I wanted to do with my life, the spirituality workshops that I'm teaching, and the decision that basically led me to being a life coach. So I was aware of what I wanted, I was looking for it, and the right person showed up at the time to go, hey, why don't you try this? So this is a really, really good example of the easy spot messages. You're clear about what you want, you start to look for it, and the universe comes back and go, here you go, this is the way you should be going. Some of the universal messages are really hard to spot, and it can be quite challenging when you're going through the motions of daily life if you don't take the opportunity to step back and see what's going on. Then you might miss these ones. And this could be signs such as being frustrated or being irritable all the time. It could be chronic pain like constant headaches or a stomach ache or shoulder pain, back pain, butt pain. You know, it could be these things that are popping up. Or it could be something like you've gone through different relationships, but you're actually ending up in the same situation. You're having the same dramas playing out. These kind of things are all signs from the universe going, hey-o, I'm trying to tell you something. And this is where it's really important to investigate. So if you notice that you're having these things, if you notice that you're frustrated all the time, or that you keep ending up in the same situation no matter what, then that's the point. That's the sign for you to say, okay, I need to investigate this. I need to look at what's going on. And in this, it's really important to remember that you need to get out of the victim role if you want to be able to look at what the universe is telling you. So again, if we're using the relationship as the example, if you're always thinking, oh, poor me, why did that happen? That's awful. You're not taking responsibility. You're not looking at the teaching the universe is trying to say. And if you take that step back, put the victim role to one side and go, okay, what's going on here? The constant in this situation is me. The partners keep changing. So this has got to be something about me. What is the teaching here? What is the lesson? And that's really key. Have a look for the lessons. So take a step back and change the way you're looking at a situation. I can't remember who it was, but somebody very clever once said that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's exactly what you need to do with these hard lessons. You need to change the way you're looking at it, because then you can spot the teaching, you can spot the guidance. But it means taking that step back and basically getting out of your stuff. Sometimes the universe shouts at us. And this is basically when you haven't been taking notice of the patterns, when you haven't been noticing the harder lessons. The pattern keep repeating, and it's like the universe is screaming at us, because that's where we're going through trauma situations, that's where we're going through really, really negative stuff that keeps kind of getting worse and worse or escalating. This is where the universe has been trying to talk to you and you haven't noticed. And to give you again an example from my own life, one of the issues I had in 4 times in 15 years was actually being homeless and living on the streets. Now, the first time this happened, it was just for a short time. I was really lucky. I got the help I needed and I managed to get back on with my life. And then the pattern started recurring. And the pattern was go into a relationship, it not being a great relationship, horrible breakup, I was penniless, I had nowhere to live, my friends took my stuff, and I basically went out with my rucksack and slept where I could, sofa surfed, slept on the streets, and eventually had to build my life up again. And this happened 4 times, and each time it got worse. The last time it ended up with I was penniless, living in a foreign country without anywhere to live, and I lost my job. So each level of my homelessness got worse and worse and worse. You know, I had other stuff going on between, but each time I became homeless, the situation in itself was worse. And this is when I realized that the universe was screaming at me and saying, hey, Emma Jane, there is something you need to learn right here and right now if you want this pattern to stop. So I went, okay, I'm taking a step back here. I am drawing a line. This pattern is stopping. And I used a very, very powerful question to help me work out what this big trauma situation was trying to teach me. And it is one of the most powerful questions and tools that I've found in my toolkit for working with personal development and for figuring out not just what the universe is trying to tell you, but also what it is that you need to work on in your life. Are you ready? Why did I create this? Now, this can be really, really hard to think about. It can be really challenging when you're in the middle of a situation like bad breakup that leaves you homeless, or a chronic illness that suddenly comes. But if you use this tool, if you use this question as a reflection tool and say, okay, I've called this into my life, I've created this, even if it's just by calling this energy into my life, why have I done that? And the second important question, what is it I need to learn? So for me, when I looked at the homelessness, it was actually that I didn't believe I could take care of myself. I didn't trust myself, and I was putting all of my belief and security onto other people rather than taking the steps to make myself safe. And when I started to work with that, my life turned around and I've been okay and I'm working on it fine now, But that's because I looked at why did I attract it and what it was trying to teach me. So very powerful tool that you can use if the universe is trying to shout at you. And in fact, I find this a really useful tool to use with many different things in my life, whether it's a big situation or even just a small situation. This tool really helps me understand why I'm attracting certain things in my life and what it is that I need to work on to be able to move forward in a different way and to break that pattern. There's two things that are really, really important to remember when it comes to communicating with the universe or understanding how the universe is trying to communicate with you. The first one is don't look for signs everywhere. And I know I've been talking about looking for signs, but don't try and look for a sign in everything. Believe me, if you do that, you're going to get so confused. It's counterproductive because then you're getting all these different inputs. It's not going to work. So notice the signs as they pop up. Notice the chronic pain, the headaches. Notice the patterns that are going on. You know, if you have a friend that you haven't seen for 5-10 years and all of a sudden in the course of 24 hours their name pops up a couple of times, well then get in contact with them. Notice it. Okay, so very, very subtle. Don't look at everything. Be aware. Notice. The second thing that's important to remember is that the lessons from the universe, the messages from the universe, they're not good or bad. You may sometimes get something very clear around something that you don't like. But that's you. That's not the universe. Work with what you've got. If you get a message that you don't like, well right there is your clue to say, okay, what is the teaching? What do I need to change about this? What do I need to be aware of? So the messages, the communications, they're not good and bad. Work with what you've got and use that as the foundation for changing and responding to the situation that you are in. So the big question is what is the universe trying to tell you right now? Take a step back. Have a look at it. Maybe write, pray, meditate, talk, or use that question, why have I created this? If you're in a situation that you're not happy about, what is the lesson here? Get clear around what you want and start to communicate. And let me know below. I'd love to hear in the comments what it is the universe is trying to tell you, what signs are there in your life right now, and how this is helping guide you forward. And if you want some more inspiration, I've got an article that you can link to down below, or you can come over to Facebook because we got lots of videos, really, really great videos this week that are going to help you with communicating with the universe and guiding you to have an understanding of the lessons it's presenting for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you can hear when new videos come out. And while I've been making this video today, I've been having lots of cars driving past, tractors, noise, you name it. My battery went out on the camera as well. So I think the universe is telling me that it's time to stop filming this video and go and do something else. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll see you on Wednesday again. Until I see you, from my heart to yours, I hope you have an enlightening week. And wherever you are, remember the most important thing is to enjoy the journey.